Hey everyone, welcome back. We're diving into something pretty fascinating today, something I think we can all relate to, at least a little bit.
Oh, absolutely.
It's something called mindful digital detoxing.
Mm-hmm.
We've got this excerpt here called Mindful Digital Detoxing for Enhanced Well-Being. Have you had a chance to look this over?
Yeah, I've taken a look. It's pretty interesting stuff. Really gets you thinking.
Yeah. You know, it seems like everyone's talking about, spending less time online these days.
It's everywhere you look.
But this excerpt kind of flips the script a little bit.
Definitely.
It's not just about like cutting the cord completely, going full on hermit mode.
Right.
It's more about like how we can use technology in a way that actually makes our lives better,
I think that's a really important distinction.
instead of letting it kind of run the show.
Exactly. Exactly.
So what exactly is mindful digital detoxing then?
Well, it's really all about awareness,
Yeah.
being more mindful of how we're using technology and how it's impacting our lives.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've spent way too much time scrolling through my phone.
I think a lot of us can relate to that. It's
Yeah.
so easy to get sucked in.
Like, what's the harm in just checking social media for a few minutes,
The other
right?
thing is, it often doesn't stop at a few minutes, does it?
No, definitely not.
It can easily turn into an hour, 2 hours, and before you know it, you've wasted a whole evening.
And I know I always feel kind of gross afterward, like I should have been doing something more productive.
Totally. But it goes beyond just like wasted time, though, right?
Oh, yeah.
There's actual research showing that excessive screen time can have some pretty negative effects on our mental and physical health.
Really? Like what?
Well, for one, there's a strong link between heavy social media use and increased anxiety and depression.
Huh. That makes sense. You're always comparing yourself to other people, seeing these like perfect curated versions of their lives.
Exactly.
Right.
And it can really mess with your self-esteem.
Yeah, definitely.
And then there's the impact on sleep.
Oh, yeah, the blue light. Right.
Right. Staring at screens late at night suppresses melatonin production, which makes it harder to fall asleep and stay asleep.
I'm definitely guilty of that. I always tell myself I'll just check one more email, and then suddenly it's like 2 a.m.
It's a slippery slope, and lack of sleep just has a domino effect on everything else, right?
Yeah, big time. It affects your mood, your energy levels, your focus.
You're more irritable, more likely to make bad decisions. It's a vicious cycle.
So how do we break this cycle? What does this excerpt say about actually like detoxing?
Well, one of the first things it talks about is setting intentions.
Intentions. Okay, so like what does that mean exactly?
It's about being clear on why you're doing this detox in the first place.
Okay.
What are you hoping to achieve? Is it to improve your sleep, reduce stress, be more present with your family?
I guess it makes sense to have a goal in mind.
Right, because when you know your why, it's easier to stay motivated and make choices that align with that intention.
I actually tried something like that recently. I wasn't specifically doing a digital detox, but
Yeah.
I made a goal to read more books.
Okay.
And I found that it kind of naturally made me put my phone down more.
That's interesting. So like having that alternative activity, that intention to read, made it easier to disengage from your phone.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh,
I had something else to focus on, something I actually enjoyed.
That's a great example of how intentions can work in practice.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be anything super complicated.
Mm.
It could be as simple as wanting to spend more quality time with your kids without being distracted by your phone.
Makes sense?
Or maybe you want to be more present in your conversations with people, really listen without constantly checking for notifications.
Right.
Those intentions can be powerful drivers of change.
So intentions are like step one. What else does this excerpt suggest?
Well, it also talks about the importance of mindful consumption.
Mindful consumption. Okay, so not just like, going cold turkey, but being more deliberate about how we use tech. Is that what you mean?
Precisely.
Hmm.
It's about making conscious choices about when and how we engage with technology rather than just passively letting it consume us.
Yeah, I like that. So instead of just mindlessly scrolling through social media whenever you have a free moment.
You might decide to only check it at certain times of the day, like say during your lunch break or for a half hour in the evening.
Okay.
That way you're still connected, but you're not letting it take over your entire life.
I've also heard people talking about creating tech-free zones in their homes.
Oh, yeah, that's a great strategy.
Like no phones at the dinner table or in the bedroom?
Exactly. It helps create those boundaries between your digital life and your real life.
So you can actually be present in the moment.
And enjoy your meal, connect with your family, get a good night's sleep.
You know, I used to think that all this stuff about digital detoxing was kind of extreme,
I get that.
but hearing you talk about it, it actually sounds kind of liberating.
It is liberating. It's about taking back control, you know?
Not letting these devices control us.
Exactly. It's not about demonizing technology. It's about using it in a way that enhances our well-being, not detracts from it.
If someone's listening to this and thinking, okay, I want to try this, I want to be more mindful about my tech use, what's like one small change they can make today to get started?
I'd say just start by paying attention.
Paying attention.
Yeah. Notice how you feel before, during, and after you use different apps or websites.
Hmm,
Are you feeling stressed, relaxed, energized, drained?
that's interesting.
Just becoming aware of those patterns can be really eye-opening.
So you're not even necessarily changing your behavior yet, you're just observing it.
Exactly. And once you start to see those patterns, you can start to make more conscious choices about how you want to use technology.
That's great advice, and I think it's a great place to leave it for today. Thanks so much for joining us for this deep dive.
My pleasure.
And for everyone listening, remember, mindful digital detoxing isn't about deprivation, it's about empowerment. It's about taking control of your technology so it doesn't control you. Think about it. What's one small change you can make today to bring a little more mindfulness to your digital life?